Hello everyone, this is Dr. S. Lakshmi, Associate Professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. I welcome you all for the second video lecture. The first video lecture we discussed about the synchronous reluctance machine, its construction, its working operation, then in some applications of synchronous reluctance motor. And in today's lecture, that is in video 2, second video, we will discuss about the stepper motor and its operation. So in in this lecture, we shall discuss about the introduction, principle of operation, the types of stepper motor, the systems required for a stepper motor, advantages and applications of a stepper motor. So introduction about a stepper motor. So stepper motor is also called as a step motor or a stepping motor. It is a brushless DC motor that actually divides the full rotation in equal number of steps. So if you take a standard stepper motor, it will have a step angle of about 1.8 degrees with 200 steps per revolution. So below we can see a simple construction, simple type of a stepper motor. So how it works? What is the principle behind the stepper motor? So it works on the principle that just a principle of magnetism. It like that is unlike poles attract each other and like poles repel each other. So when a DC supply is given to the stator windings, what happens is a magnetic flux is produced and it establishes a north and south pole. So based upon the attraction and repulsion of magnetic property, the stepper motor operates. So coming to the classification of a stepper motor, it is broadly classified into three types. First one is variable reluctance stepper motor, permanent magnet stepper motor, hybrid stepper motor, and this variable reluctance stepper motor is again classified into two types. One is single stack variable reluctance motor and multi-stack variable reluctance motor. So we will discuss everything in detail step by step. So first, let us discuss what are the main points that comes under each type of stepper motor, and then we shall discuss in detail about each machine. So first one is permanent magnet motor. So permanent magnet motor, as the name indicates, it uses permanent magnet in the rotor side and it operates based upon the attraction and repulsion between the rotor and the stator electromagnet. What we have in the rotor is a permanent magnet and what we have in the stator is an electromagnet. We are giving a DC supply for the windings in the stator to make it work as a magnet. So we call it as an electromagnet. And variable reluctance motor, the other next important type of stepper motor is variable reluctance motor. So it has a plain iron rotor and it operates based on the minimum reluctance occurring with the air gap, in the air gap. So the rotor points are attracted towards the stator magnet poles. So just by the principle of minimum reluctance position, this variable reluctance motor operates. So we can see the structure of the cross-sectional view of a variable reluctance motor here. And next, coming to the hybrid motor. Hybrid motor is nothing but combining the qualities of variable reluctance machine and a permanent magnet machine. So the hybrid motor has a desirable features of it. Normally, it has an exhibited step angle of 0.9 to 5 degrees. So it has the features, the best features of both variable reluctance machine and the permanent magnet machine. So that's why we call it as a hybrid motor. So coming to the system of the stepper motor, what are the components present in the stepper motor? So it consists of three basic elements, which is including everything, the computer, PLC interface, including everything. Those are indexers, drivers, and the stepper motor. So these are the important elements that are present in the stepper motor. So let us see what these systems, that is each elements are. The First one is the indexer. Indexer is nothing but a controller. It is mainly using a microprocessor or a microcontroller. It is capable of generating step pulses and the signals for the driver circuit. So it also performs many functions. It performs many operations by giving appropriate function signals for the machine. Next is the driver. The driver is otherwise called as an amplifier. It converts the indexer command signals into power necessary to energize the machine windings. So not all drivers are suitable to run all the motors. So for each type of motor, the drivers has to be designed separately. So all drivers cannot be used for all types of stepper motor. And ultimately, the important the heart of this system is the stepper motor. It is an electromagnetic device that converts the digital pulses into mechanical shaft rotation. So the advantages of the stepper motor are low cost, high reliability, high torque at low speeds, and it has a simple construction. Advantages of stepper motor: low cost for better control. Next one is higher torque at startup and low speeds. Initially, during starting and at low speed conditions also, the torque is high. Ruggedness, simple construction. It can operate in both open loop as well as in closed loop system. It has less maintenance, less likely to stall or slip. It will not easily come into halt position. It can work in any environment. Mostly it is used in this robotics. The stepper motor is widely used in robotic applications. It has a high reliability. Applications of stepper motor. So it is used for precise positioning with a motor like hard disk drivers, robotics, telescopes, and some toy cars, etc. Industrial machine stepper motors are used in automatic gauge and machine tooling automatic production equipment. So for this minute automated control, we use the stepper motor widely. And security news surveillance products for the security industry and medical stepper motors are used inside the medical scanner, sampler, and also it is found in digital dental photography. So these are some of the applications of stepper motor. So now we discussed what is a stepper motor, how it works, and what are the classification of a stepper motor, and we discussed the basic introduction of each type of stepper motor till now. And now we will discuss in detail about the classification of the stepper motor. The first category that comes under stepper motor is a variable reluctance stepper motor. So variable reluctance stepper motor is a very important type of a stepper motor. So now let us see the construction of a variable reluctance stepper motor. So as we all know, every machine has two important parts. One is the stator and the other one is the rotor. Stator is the stationary part and the rotor is the rotating part. So here also it has two parts, stator and the rotor. The motor has stator, which is usually wound for 3 phases. It consists of an outer frame which encloses the stepper motor and it protects it. It will have a overall frame to cover the entire stator and the inner rotor. The salient poles of the stator are fixed under the stator outer frame, and the stator poles are laminated and assembled in a single stack. So it is usually made up of soft steel or high grade silicon steel, and it is like made up of thin lamination to get pasted together. These construction are mainly to reduce the hysteresis loss and the eddy current loss that are generated in the stepper motor. So usually there may be 6 stator poles and concentrated exciting windings around each pole. This is how the construction of a variable reluctance stepper motor is. And the exciting windings are usually made up of copper material, and the pair of exciting windings forms the phase in the stepper motor. So we have three phases in the stepper motor which are usually considered, and each phase is separately excited by a separate DC source. We will be exciting each phase by a separate DC source, and the direction of rotation of the stepper motor depends upon the sequence we excite the windings. The rotor also has projecting poles. So the direction of rotation of stepper motor depends upon the sequence we excite the winding. So we can change the sequence of excitation of the windings to change the direction of rotation. The rotor has projecting poles which are laminated, and it is made up of soft steel material, and the material and it may be a single or multi-stack type. The multi-stack type gives smaller step angle. So we have two different types under this variable reluctance stepper motor, and that is a single stack and multi-stack type. So if the number of stacks are increased, the step angle can be reduced so that we can get a smoother rotation. And generally, the stator pole and the rotor poles will not be equal for proper operation. If both are equal, it will not be properly working. And we can see the construction of a variable reluctance stepper motor. So this is how it looks. This is the cross-sectional view of a variable reluctance stepper motor. We have the stator, the outer part of the stator, and we have the slots here. Only in that slots, only the stator windings are wounded. And we have the stator winding here. The inner part is a rotor. The projected portion, we call it as the rotor poles. And the innermost part is the rotor shaft. The outer part, the outermost covering, we call it as the outer frame. This is how the construction of a variable reluctance stepper motor looks. And we can see the stator winding here. This is the circuit diagram of the stator winding. You can see phases of the stator winding. We just mark it as A dash, B dash, and C dash, which are connected separately to three switches S1, S2, and S3. So as I said, the stator windings, we have three stator windings, and each stator winding are excited by a separate DC source. And we can activate each phase by turning on that particular switch. So if I turn on the switch S1, this A dash phase will be activated. Similarly, if I turn off this S1 and turn on this S3, C phase will be activated. So likewise, we can activate and deactivate that particular phase depending upon the requirement. So how it works? So the principle of operation of a variable reluctance stepper motor. So the operation is based on various reluctance position of the rotor with respect to the stator. So when any one phase of the stator is excited, it produces a magnetic field which lies along the poles, the phase around when it is excited. So this is how it works. Then rotor moves in such a direction to achieve a minimum reluctance position. So what will happen is the rotor will try to get aligned itself with the stator at minimum reluctance position. So now let us see the operation when A, B, C are excited in sequence one after the other with the help of the switches S1, S2 and S3. So what happens here is when the phase A1 is excited. So I showed you a circuit diagram in which we have three phases A dash, B dash, and C dash connected with three different switches S1, S2, and S3 connected to a DC source. So when we turn on this S1 switch, what happens is the phase A1 is getting excited and that is activated. So what happens? The rotor tries to align itself with the stator at minimum reluctance position. So let us consider the initial position to be 0 degree. That is the reference line, x-axis. Now, when this S1 is open and S2 is closed. So what happens? So the phase B1 is excited now. So when B1 is excited and A1 phase is demagnetized. So what will happen? Again, my rotor will try to align itself to the stator position, searching for the minimum reluctance position. So now what happens is it will be slowly tilted with an angle of 30 degrees. So here uh, in this design consideration, the step angle is 30 degrees. So now again, after this B phase, I am going to energize the C phase. So how will I energize the C phase? I will turn off the switch S2 and turn on the switch S3. So now the C1 phase is getting activated, and then again your rotor tries to align itself with the stator at minimum reluctance position with a step angle of 30 degree, the same direction. So this is how it works. So first when A dash is excited, that is the initial position. Next, when C dash is excited, say for example, C dash is excited, then only your angle, step angle will be 30 degree and your rotor will be moved to 30 degree here. Then after C, when B is excited, again next 30 degrees. So this is how the cycle continues. So when I give the switching sequence as A, C, B, A, your stepper motor operates in clockwise direction. If I give A, B, C, according to this naming, if the sequence is A, B, C, A, then it operates in anti-clockwise direction. So this is how it works. So we can see the angle of step angle of rotation here. So this is the principle of operation of a stepper motor. And if I is the current passing through each phases which are excited, then the torque develops. So we can see the torque equation of the stepper motor when let me current through each phase is taken as I. So I is nothing but the current, and L is the inductance, and theta is the displacement angle. So this is the equation for torque developed in a stepper motor. So what are the advantages of variable reluctance stepper motor? It has a high torque to inertia ratio, high rates of acceleration. It has a fast dynamic response, simple, low cost, and the rotor does not carry any windings. So these are some of the advantages of variable reluctance stepper motor. Coming to another interesting topic under stepper motor, the other one is permanent magnet stepper motor. So in variable reluctance motor, the rotor does not have any winding. In a permanent magnet stepper motor, your rotor is made up of a permanent magnet. So that is the difference. And how it works. So here, a permanent magnet stepper motor, it also has two parts. One is the stator, the other one is the rotor. And the stator of this type of motor is multipolar. So it can be more than one. And the construction, the stator construction is all similar to that of a variable reluctance stepper motor. That is, you have the stator, you have the rotor. The stator has the outermost frame. It has stator core, slots, windings, and it is laminated, made up of thin sheets and made up of soft silicon steel with projected poles. So these type of construction are all for reducing the eddy current losses and hysteresis losses. And the rotor is a smooth cylindrical type or a projecting pole type. It can be any type. It can be a smooth cylindrical type. That is, it may be a salient pole type or a non-salient pole type, but it is made up of permanent magnet material like a hard ferrite. So because of this type of construction, we call this machine as a permanent magnet stepper motor, and the rotor has only two poles here. So let us see the constructional view of a permanent magnet stepper motor. So we can see that it is somewhat, stator part is almost same as that of the variable reluctance machine, but in the rotor side you can see it is made up of a permanent magnet. We have only north and south poles here. The other parts are all same as that of a variable reluctance machine. The outer part is the stator winding, stator poles, and the inner part is made up of a permanent magnet. We have the north and south poles. In the innermost part, we call it as the shaft, and the entire a machine is covered by the outermost frame, call it as a stator frame, and we have the stator windings here A, B, C, D, which are energized by a DC source, and we have switches here. So when I turn on S1 switch, it means that A phase is energized, and if S4 is turned on, it means the D phase is energized, and so on. So what is the principle behind the permanent magnet stepper motor? So basic principle of a permanent magnet stepper motor is that when a particular phase of a stator is excited, what happens? The rotor magnetic poles will try to align itself with the rotor poles. This is the general principle. We starting from the synchronous reluctance motor. This is what we are studying. And here in this lecture, let me consider a permanent magnet stepper motor with a stator having 4 phases, 4 poles, and the rotor has 1 pole pair. And now the step angle can be calculated using this formula. Beta is equal to 360 divided by m into n into r, where beta is the step angle, m is the number of phases, and nr is the number of rotor poles. So if you substitute the values, you get this beta to be step angle to be 90 degree. So the proper switching. So as I said, the working operation of this permanent magnet stepper motor is based upon the excitation of each phase of the stator. So we have to design a suitable control circuit or a driver circuit for appropriate switching for the input for the permanent magnet machine. So here when S1 is closed, then what is the meaning? The phase A is excited for a particular pole and the opposite pole will come into alignment. So let us consider this as the initial position. So let me take this as the initial position, start position, theta is equal to 0. So we have calculated already the step angle to be 90 degree. So for the next phase, when it is activated, what will happen? My rotor will be moving with the angle of 90 degree. So this is how it continues, the cycle continues. So when S1 is open and S2 is closed, what is the meaning? B is excited. So what will happen? Again, my rotor will try to rotate with an angle of 90 degree. So this is how it looks. So when A phase is activated, energized, this is the initial position. Then when B phase is energized, this is the position. Then when if it is C phase, your step angle will be 180 degree. Then it will be, then if D phase is activated, it means that my step angle is next 90 degree, that is 270 degree. So the cycle continues. So this is how the stepper motor continues to be in operation. So here also the direction of rotation depends upon the sequence of switching. So if I give the switching sequence as A, B, C, D, then the direction of rotation is clockwise, and if it is A, C, D, B, then it is anti-clockwise direction. Sometimes the direction of the stator current also decides the direction of rotation of the stepper motor. That is what it is. So while changing the sequence of switching changes the direction of rotation. So the stepper motor with permanent magnet rotors with large number of poles cannot be manufactured in small size. So hence small steps are not possible in a permanent magnet stepper motor because of presence of permanent magnet. The detent torque is present in the motor, so it's not adjustable. The rotor side parameters are not adjustable because of the presence of a permanent magnet. So there is a presence of detent torque. And of course, because of this permanent magnet, the torque, the step angle is cannot be reduced much for a smaller size machine. That's why we don't opt this type of kind of machine for smaller rating applications. Next, coming to hybrid stepper motor. So hybrid stepper motor. So as discussed in the some few minutes back, hybrid stepper motor consists of, it has the features of both variable reluctance machine and a permanent magnet stepper motor. So it uses both the principles. So the construction view also, it is also the combination of both variable reluctance machine and a permanent magnet stepper motor. So here also the hybrid stepper motor also consists of two parts. One is the rotor and the one is the stator. The rotor stator has the outermost frame, the stator core, the stator poles, the winding, the frame, etc. And here also it is made up of soft steel material with laminations to reduce the eddy current and hysteresis loss. And this stator, it can be a single or multi-stack configuration. If the number of stack is more, what happens is the step angle can be reduced. So if it is a single stack, the step angle will be more. If it is more the number of stacks, lesser the step angles. Lesser the step angle, smoother is the rotation. This is the advantage of a stepper motor. So there is only two-phase winding. The coils on poles 1, 3, 5 and 7 are connected in series to form a phase, and 2, 4, 6, 8 are connected in series to form the phase B. Here we have two phases, A phase and B phase. So for A phase 1, 3, 5, 7 are in series, and for B phase 2, 4, 6, 8 are in series. The windings A and B are excited alternately. So we can see the arrangement of the hybrid stepper motor here. So here the rotor has a permanent magnet which is fixed in the middle of the rotor and it is magnetized in a axial direction. So we discussed that axial and radial type in the previous lecture. Surrounding the rotor permanent magnet, the rotor teeth are frayed which are laminated and it is made up of soft steel material. The rotor teeth are selected according to the step angle required. So number of rotor teeth is going to decide the step angle. So we can alter the tooth number of the rotor to adjust the step angle of the machine. So it uses both the features, that is, it uses both permanent magnet as well as variable reluctance principle. So in this machine, the rotor flux is produced by the permanent magnet and it is directed by the rotor teeth to the appropriate parts of the air gap. So let us consider a hybrid motor that has having two phases A and B. So as I said earlier, in A phase 1, 3, 5, 7 are in series, 1, 3, 5, 7 windings are in series, and for a B phase 2, 4, 6, 8 are in series. So A phase is excited with positive stator current, and then the stator poles 1 and 5 becomes south and 3 and 7 becomes north. Now the rotor teeth with the north and south polarity will come into alignment with the stator pole teeth. Similarly, when B phase is excited and A phase is unexcited, what will happen? The rotor will move with a one step angle. Suppose the rotor has 18 teeth. So let us consider the rotor has 18 teeth, then the step angle will be calculated based upon the value. And the torque in the hybrid stepper motor is produced by interaction of rotor and the stator produced fluxes. The rotor flux remains constant because it is produced by the permanent magnet, and the motor torque is proportional to the phase current of the stator. So talking about the advantages, it can achieve a very small step angle up to 1.8 degree, and the torque per unit volume is actually better than that of a variable reluctance motor, and due to the presence of this permanent motor, the motor has some return torque. And we have the single stack and multi-stack configuration. Single stack configuration, here there will be common stator and rotor for the poles and teeth on it, which means that only one stator core and rotor core on the poles will be placed, and single stack will have one winding for a phase. So this is how it looks, single stack configuration. And multi-stack, in using a multi-stack, you can achieve a better step angle. That is, the step angle can be much reduced by using this multi-stack configuration. So it means that the M stack motor, the motor is divided into M number of magnetically isolated sections called stacks along its axial length, and M stacks of stator has the common outer frame while the rotor are mounted on the same shaft. So we can see that the M in a M multi-stack configuration, we will have M stacks. So more number of stacks means that with the step angle will be reduced. So the stator poles in the motor are aligned equally while the rotor poles are shifted by 1 by m of the pole pitch from one another. All the stator windings in the stacks are excited simultaneously, and hence the stator forms a stator. The overall stator will form a phase. That is how the step angle is reduced. So this is so we can see the step angle is calculated to be 10 degree here. So we can achieve even more reduced step angle by using this multi-stack structure. And this is the structure of the multi-stack configuration. You can see that the poles, the rotor stator poles are divided into different segments. So because of this only, we achieve the even reduced step angle. So depending upon the application, we can choose the number of stacks for the stepper motor.